Hey, it's Vinny. So today I want to do a quick comparison of Rivian, Lucid, and Tesla. Look at Rivian's Q2 earnings coming off the back of Lucid, who just reported their earnings yesterday, which I made a video about. You can check that out as well. So Rivian just reported their earnings. The stock is down 8% today. Go figure. I thought it was a pretty good report. The company's definitely headed in the right direction, not close to profitability, but it looks like they're taking the right steps. So, of course, stock down 8% on that. Good news. And Lucid, I believe, meanwhile, stock went up off what I thought was a pretty terrible report yesterday. So, Rivian has a partnership with Amazon to build 100,000 electric delivery vehicles. And as of July, they were operating in 800 cities across the US, and they've begun delivery to Europe as well recently. So in their Q2 results, the company produced 13,992 vehicles. They delivered 12,640 in the quarter. And for 2023, they had previously guided for 50,000 units produced, and they actually increased their guidance up to 52,000. And if we take a look at some of the metrics over here, everything seems to be heading in the right direction. If we look at the last 5 quarters, you can see production delivery have 3x'd year over year. If we look at Q2, definitely trending in the right direction. Their costs, they've effectively been managing their costs. As you can see, free cash flow, negative 1.6 billion. But, when you factor in, they've tripled their production year over year and their loss basically stayed flat. That's a pretty good sign to see. And they're definitely heading in the right direction. They've got about $10.2 billion in cash, which they think is enough to keep them funded through 2025. So that makes sense. If they're burning, let's call it 1.6 billion a quarter, that's around 6 billion a year. So they've got, another year and a half of runway here at least. So the gross profit per vehicle delivered improved by quite a bit, by about $35,000 per vehicle sold. So they are still losing money, but again, heading in the right direction. I like the names of their cars, nice and easy to follow. The R1S is the SUV, the R1T is the truck, and for the first time, the R1S production outpaced the R1T. It made up 70% of the R1 lineup production, and they're expecting over time that they're going to sell a lot more R1S or SUVs than the trucks, which makes sense. Now, Rivian seems to have a very happy customer base that's, forming these communities across the country, similar to what we've seen happen with Tesla. It's definitely a good sign. The customers are tending to be very happy with their Rivian products, and, it obviously also provides a free advertising channel for them. And the company believes that increasing production, that's going to be the primary lever in their path toward profitability. They're on pace to double their output versus 2022. If you look at the chart here, you can see their production deliveries steadily increasing, slight decline Q4 to Q1, but year over year, massively increasing. And in the Lucid video yesterday, I talked a little bit about when we might expect these EV makers to reach profitability. And if Tesla is any guide, Tesla just became profitable in 2020. That was the first time they posted positive EPS. And it took them an economy of scale of selling 500,000 vehicles for them to reach profitability. So that kind of gives you an idea. Maybe Rivian can do it faster. Like I said, they're on track to do 50,000 this year. But from the income statement, it looks like they still have a ways to go in the path to profitability. So Rivian definitely seems to be following the Tesla model here. They discussed vertical integration. They said that we believe vertically integrating our network architecture and associated electronics, full vehicle software stack, and propulsion platform affords a long-term competitive advantage in terms of both cost and product performance. Definitely something that Tesla has shown is very advantageous. And their vehicles are getting cheaper over time. They've got this R2 platform. R2, we're supposed to be going down, not up. Their R2 platform is set to launch in 2026 and will feature cheaper vehicles than what we saw with the R1 lineup. They're going to have a smaller compact SUV that's expected to cost between $40,000 and $60,000. But, that's a couple years away still. And Tesla has that today with the Model Y, basically in that price range, at least starting. Now, they're also one of the automakers that's adopting the North American charging standard. They're going to utilize Tesla's supercharger network. So Rivian versus Lucid versus Tesla. As Rivian scales and, efficiently manages their costs, they're definitely heading in the right direction here, and I think they're in a much better position than Lucid. Lucid's economy of scale is much further behind. They only delivered 1,400 cars this quarter. It was flat quarter over quarter, and it only doubled year over year. Q2 of 2022, Lucid delivered 679 vehicles. So 1,400 this quarter to Rivian's, more than 12,000. So I like Rivian more than Lucid today, but both of these companies, they have powerful backings that will help them out, keep them afloat in the tough times. Amazon and Rivian's case, Saudi Arabia and Lucid's case. However, both are still very far behind Tesla, who Peter Thiel would say has gone 0 to 1. They've escaped competition. Ever since Tesla became profitable in 2020, now they've got this cash cow electric vehicle business that's funding so many of these other innovative initiatives. I've made tons of Tesla videos. I don't need to go into detail there. But, if Rivian can survive, I just don't see how it's going to become anything more than a niche player, at least on the consumer side. Maybe they can do something on the commercial end, expanding on things like their delivery van partnership with Amazon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you got value out of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have nothing to sell you guys, but if you want, you could check out my last video on Lucid here. And I've also got a video on Amazon here, which, like I said, I think the Amazon-Rivian partnership produces a synergy for both of these companies. Amazon is a company I'm invested in that I'm very excited about over the next decade. And you guys can also check me out on Substack, link in the description below. I'll put in the pinned comment as well. And follow me on Twitter, all the links below. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you guys next time.